Hello and welcome back to Brood War Part 6, and in this episode we'll be going on the quest for Uraj on the Protoss fleet orbiting the planet Braxis.
Now then, Kerrigan, perhaps you had best explain yourself. What is this news you've come to give?
Kerrigan has been allowed in the super secret briefing room.
Impossible. Why should we believe anything you have to say?
Because, Zeratul, I'm no longer the mindless murderess who you fought on Char. The Overmind is dead. Whatever warped control it once had over me is gone.
I promise.
I know that this is a lot to take in all at once, but you've got to believe me. There's more at stake
She
here.
lies. She is infested to the core. I, for one, will not listen to any of this.
Silence, you
The objectives are kind of dispelling the narrative,
The renegades
dramatic effect happening here.
have merged into a new Overmind. Fortunately, the creature is still in its infant stages. It can't control the swarm yet, but Dagoth and the others still have control over most of the broods. The two Cerebrats you killed here were part of Dagoth's forces. Look, I don't need to tell you all what might happen if that thing reaches maturity. I can guarantee you that should it awaken, it'll take full control of me, just like it did before. I don't want that to happen.
If you played the Terran Campaign before, you know that Kerrigan is actually mostly, actually does most of the things under her own will, as opposed to, as a slave to the Overmind.
Not assault the new Overmind. We must
Well, I think what was happening in the unexpanded Starcraft 1 was Kerrigan and the Overmind agreed on some things. But now we're getting to the things that they did not agree on. Like letting Dagoth live, because he is a blob, gluttonous, fat pig.
For the time being, Kerrigan will assist you in your endeavors. Though she has been your enemy, it is enough that we share the same agenda now. Allow her time enough to prove herself to you, and you may find her to be a valued ally. For now, you must focus.
I do like that Rashgal is mostly the voice of reason here. The problem is, it's undercut by a revelation later that we will not be seeing.
What you ask, Matriarch, but you cannot expect us to forgive Kerrigan's
Oh, good. We had, it just so happens we had room for a fifth interlocutor in this little briefing scene.
Braxis before the next moonrise.
That's Artanis.
End of briefing! Go to war! Build! Do it! And now we are on Hoth.
Effectively, yes. Braxis is an ice planet.
Okay, first step is repel.
Well, no, not repel. We are invading.
Nice. Humans, apparently.
Yep.
Tiny little bitches.
Thank you, Shuttle.
Kerrigan, you are my murderous waifu.
I certainly hope not. She's not all that loving as a waifu.
long ago, the world was a Protoss colony called Kirador. When the strife between our tribes escalated, this planet and the Uraj crystal were abandoned. These Terrans have come here only recently.
I'm listening.
Make sure to get rid of all the Terran forces that are here before you start really building up your base, because that bunker down there will be very annoying if you don't.
Right. You might be wondering who's shooting you.
Yeah.
The
Now,
bunker guy.
this mission does give us some pretty interesting start. A pretty interesting start with the fact that we've got 4 probes, Kerrigan, 3 Dragoons, and 3 Reavers. I still hate Reavers, but the Reavers here are actually really good defensive units. Thing is, we'll actually be using them for offensive units as the mission goes on, because, well, there are siege cannons. So that's what we are going to end up using them for.
And where is Kerrigan going to be standing most of the time?
Kerrigan is going to be at home for a lot of the time, mostly because she's a Zerg unit that I don't have to worry about healing, because she'll heal on her own, especially because she actually has higher armor stats than a majority of the rest of my units.
Yeah, all 5 bars of it.
All right.
Executor, we have a problem. Our warp matrix was damaged during transit. Because of the extensive damage, we will be unable to warp in stargates to this location.
You hear that, guys? No
What do you
flying
mean
units
it
except for
didn't
shuttles
work?
and observers. You know, the only flying units I ever actually use.
Oh no. No scouts.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Yeah, you know, the units that are too goddamn expensive and I don't bother to use anyway. Ugh.
Well, you will be pleased to know that it is now removed as an option entirely. It sucked.
I don't really think that this mission was designed with that particular limitation in mind, though, because they still actually have quite a lot of anti-air defenses placed around, and the only air unit that I'll be using like pretty much at all throughout the rest of the mission is going to be observers.
Right, because Hoth, although mountainous in some regions and in the distant background and during Star Wars, also was relatively flat
Yeah.
and unbroken by water. It's ice now.
Like the most broken part of Hoth was actually the infantry battlefield in Battlefront 2, where they actually had trenches set up, and it's like I don't recall that specifically being on Hoth, but I don't really care if it was there or not. Here's something that I'm probably gonna get a lot of shit for. I don't actually care for most of the Star Wars movies. I actually like Episode 3 quite a bit, but that's like the only Star Wars movie that I actually enjoy watching.
It's okay, Gerdette. I find that, well, all the Star Wars movies have a pretty similar formula. And if you disagree with the formula, the other movies are not going to help you.
I don't actually disagree with the formula, though. It's mostly a stereotypical hero's journey, and I'm actually okay with a stereotypical hero's journey for the most part. Yeah, my main issue is that they're really slow for the most part, and it especially New Hope. New Hope takes forever to get going, and even when it finally does get going, a lot of the action beats are relatively minor.
Low budget movie. Well, I mean, decently budgeted, but the others had so much more bank.
Yes, I will say that the battle scenes in Empire Strikes Back are significantly more entertaining to watch than most of Return of the Jedi, than most of New Hope. But by then I don't honestly care that much. Like the speeder versus AT-AT segments are really cool and inventive, but it's like pretty much the only part of the movie I enjoy watching.
And that's Attack of the Clones, right?
No,
No,
that's
not Attack of
that's
the
Empire Strikes
Phantom
Back.
Menace. Oh, right. I don't quite remember it, but I agree, right.
Okay, Attack of the Clones is Episode 2, Phantom Menace is Episode 1, Revenge of the Sith.
Right, and I thought you were
3.
talking about the races during that one.
No, the pod race during the Phantom Menace is actually really fun to watch. But honestly, the best thing that I remember from Phantom Menace is that it inspired the RTS game, where you got to control the Gungans. There was an RTS Star Wars game based on Episode 1 where you got to control the Gungans and attempt to form ecological surveys on planet Naboo. It was actually really interesting.
Right, when is that the one where the Gungans were firing like catapulting gel, I think it was?
No,
like
that's
great
Attack of the Clones.
globules of destruction.
No, that's Attack of the Clones.
Dang it. It's been a little while since I saw those. I mean, I enjoy the Star Wars movies quite a bit. And that's why I can see, well, it's okay. They don't swear during the Star Wars movies. There's no shit, fuck, bitch, bastard, damn it. Cock.
That's because they supposedly
none
have
of
a
that.
drastically different language, even though it's very clearly still English. I think that this is the first time we've actually seen Kerrigan use a psionic storm. She got that after we did the raid on the science vessel, and it's actually really good for clearing out the waves of infantry that the Red Terrans will start sending at us rather frequently throughout the mission. But I end up not really utilizing it all that much. Not because it costs energy, but because, well, I'm not very good with the spellcasters in general in StarCraft 1.
Yeah, you don't want to send... Nah, those bunkers are bunkers! Everywhere! Alright, so who's, so we got a new job, everybody. Are we listening? The job is, you are going to die, but the rest of us are going to prevail as a result of your sacrifice. So who's with me?
No, not quite, Cloud. We're going to actually use our Reavers as siege cannons.
Sweet.
And there we go. Now, one of the big things that you will want for this mission specifically is a bunch of grounded armor, especially if you're going to be doing what I'm doing here, which is, you know, turning this into an escort mission for Kerrigan.
Right, so she's just gonna sit there by the wall, you know, kind of out of the way, but still kind of close to the bunkers, I noticed. And while the rest of us, we're gonna build a road.
Yes and no. We're going to nuke their bunkers with our Reavers.
Sweet. Nuclear.
Now,
I don't know how much
unfortunately,
research you've done
the real
on...
reason why I built the robotic support facility is because I figured out relatively early on that I was going to need to use these Reavers, and I was hoping that I would be able to get the Reaver upgrades, but nope. Not only do we not get any of the Reaver upgrades for this mission, but the only upgrades that the robotic support base provides us with is the shuttle movement upgrade.
Oh, a movement upgrade would be pretty nice. They are literally going at snail's pace.
Yeah, a Reaver there isn't actually a Reaver movement upgrade, sadly. The Reaver upgrades are increased Scarab damage and Scarab capacity. I think the Scarab capacity caps out at 15, actually. It probably does not. It probably actually does cap out at 10, meaning that we would already have both of the Scarab upgrades already once we start this mission. But I kind of doubt that.
I'm creeping death.
Come on, Pascaret, start building shuttles. You know that's what we're gonna end up doing. Damn it! No! Retreat the Reavers!
By my crawl, I'll kick you in the balls when I'm over there.
Damn it! At least he survived.
Hey, he's still got a shield. He just needs a little time. Maybe, alright, so which of you fine gentlemen would like to make a little pathway for our friend here? I know you guys are clumsy as fuck, but if you work together, you might be able to pull this off. It's life or death right now.
Building a Templar archive so that we can attempt to get our TTs out. But unfortunately, the spot that I picked for my Templar archives means I can't put any more photon cannons here.
So I take it in the next part we are going to see some offense?
Yes, we're going to actually go and finish the mission in the next part. We're going to mostly evade the Red Terran for most of this mission.
WinCon.
Yep, WinCon. All right, everybody, be safe. Come on, Kerrigan. Let's start up the stealth mission. Snail, 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 snail.